The hostel is an old military barracks, cold, drafty, and sonorous. I can hear the occasional voice in the common area, the lone footstep of a late-night trip to the bathroom. Rachel sits on the bed in my tiny room and tugs at her boots like an exhausted farmhand. Talking computer, she says, swaying under the exposed bulb. I tried to explain my work, minus its location, on the freezing walk over. She said she wanted to know, but she hasn't absorbed much. She's so drunk she looks deboned. You want some water, I say? I hold her calf in my hand and pull the boot free, then the other, free and easy. I'm about to say we don't have to do this, but why wouldn't we? What else would two people similarly situated do? I put my hand under the heavy band of her sweatshirt and help her take it off, feeling the ridges of her ribs, a clavichord, a scallop shell. Her deodorant smells warmly of cloves. One more, she says, and I roll her top up like an inner tube. Are you sad she's gone, she asks. Who? Good answer. I stand up and flick off the light switch. In the sudden blue darkness, the weak glow of Sausalito comes into focus, bobbing at the tree branches. I approach the window, lean my forehead against the cool glass. It's just a little town across the bay, but right now, it looks like a holy city in the distance, a mirage. Your computer, Rachel says, does it have a weird robot voice? He doesn't actually talk, he text chats. Do you tell him everything? Are you going to tell him about your trip? I don't know. The wind whips reed-like through the trees, 1,000 knives and 1,000 whetstones. Sausalito is erased. I turn to look at her. What's there to tell? You could tell him you met a really cool girl, she says, moving to California to start a new life. You moving to SF? Bolinas. I'm going to live with my aunt and uncle in Bolinas. I'm going to finish high school. The wind stops, turned off like a spigot. The noises of the hostel clarify. The mumble of the television, the clinking of bottles. Jesus, how old are you? 20. Don't ask me why I haven't finished already. 20, I say. She collapses back on the mattress with a thump. The springs wheeze. Promise me you'll tell him that. A really cool girl moving to California. New start on life. New start on life. You got it. She pushes herself up, reaches a hand out for me, signaling for me to come over. I need to tell you something. I hope I can share it with my computer. I push off the window. She's a warm, dark form on the white bed. And this close, I could smell her, touch her wavy hair. She looks up at me, serious, as if we're about to make a pact. First, you have to tell me your fantasy. She speaks quietly but firmly, not ashamed, not abashed. In the dark, her body is a monochrome ivory, clearly visible. Her small breasts, the slight chubbiness at her waist, her long legs, the dull maroon flash of her underwear. But I can't discern her face. Above the neck, she's all shadows. You can tell me anything you want, I say. I'll carry her secret. It's something strangers can do for each other. Your fantasy, she says. Tell me yours. I lean in close. There's no blush of blood in her cheeks. Her eyes are not green. Her face is white, black, gray, a mask. A fantasy, I think. Any old fantasy. Just one thing I dream about in bed alone. One way I want to be touched. Where I want her hands, where I want her mouth, what I want her to say. Something. I just have to come up with something. All right, I'll stop there.